Hi, Jessica. This is JJ here. Rachel asked if I could help her out this evening and make the video to guide you through how to edit your site. So this will help. You'll have this to refer back to as you need to. Real quick, to log into your site, and I'll send you the login credentials on a document, a Word doc too. But you're going to go to your web address, then you're going to add on the back end of it WP, so it's the website address / WP-admin, hit enter. It's going to bring you to your WordPress login, and again I'll give you your credentials, but they're right here. You can't really see them all. Let's see. So hit login, and that's going to bring you to your dashboard. I tell most people that 90% of what you're going to find here on the dashboard is, you really don't need to pay any attention to it. It's just stuff that really doesn't affect the nuts and bolts of your site too much. So nothing really ever changes here unless something goes really wrong, which should never happen. One thing you do want to keep an eye on whenever you log in, you probably want to log in maybe once or twice a month, even if you're not changing things. Probably going to want to log in once or twice a month just to check for updates right here. WordPress is a content management system, and as such it manages a lot of content, and so as a platform WordPress is updated regularly. So are the plugins that provide a lot of the functionality. So when there are updates for your plugins or for WordPress, the number of updates needed will appear right here. When something needs to update, you're going to click here. It's going to bring you to the update page. WordPress, if there's a new version of WordPress, you'll find it here. Your plugins you'll find here. Then your theme updates you'll find here. And updating something is nothing to be intimidated by. It's really simple. It's as easy as in the list there'll be a table here with the image and then the details, and then a little box beside it. You click all the boxes beside the plugins that need to be updated. There'll be a button here that says update or update all. You just click it and then wait. And that's an important part of updating it, is when you update, your tab is going to show that the site is working, and you don't want to leave that page until all of the updates are completed. It may take a little while sometimes. It doesn't usually take more than about 10 to 20, maybe 30 seconds at the most. But wait till all the updates are finished before leaving this page. Once you're done, you can leave the page. You'll be good. So we go back to the dashboard here. Let me think. In this area, I'll tell you what I'll do first is just kind of show you how to edit the site, because that's probably what you're going to be doing most. You really won't fool around with this stuff too much, so I'll leave that stuff for the end. But anytime you want to edit the content on your site, you're going to come to, once you've logged in, you can come up here and you can either click on the name of your site or you can click visit site, either one. And when you're logged in and you visit your site, you're going to see this black toolbar up at the top. That shows you that you are logged into your site. And then what you want to do, if you want to change something about your site, is you're going to want to come and click on Edit with Elementor. And that's really, really important that you use Edit with Elementor. You don't want to use Edit Page. You don't want to use Customize. You just want to use Edit with Elementor when you're making changes, right? And so let's say we wanted to edit the home page here. So you click Edit with Elementor, and it's going to bring up this toolbar over here. And the way your site works right now is it really is just a drag and drop site. So everything that you see on here is some sort of an element brought over from this toolbar over here. All of the different things are over here that you can use and add and remove from your site. So you can play around with as much as you want. But if you want to add something, you just drag it over and wait for a blue line. That blue line indicates that that's somewhere you can actually drop the element. And then when you let go, the element will appear. It'll appear there on the site, wherever you place it. And then you can begin to edit it from there. The way the layout works is each page is broken down into main sections. You can identify main sections because they have these 3 tabs at the top, right? And then within the main sections, you have columns, which you can identify by the gray box in the corner, upper left-hand corner. And then inside each of these columns, you have elements, which you can identify by the the blue square with the white pen inside it. And all these elements, these are taken from over here on the taskbar. And you have everything from images to buttons to header text or just regular text boxes, icons, images. There are tons, and I mean tons, like of different types of elements here that you can use in the design of your site. If you want to edit a section, if you want to add a section, you can go to the plus sign on any one of the main sections. If you want to edit a section, you can click on the dots here, or you can right-click on the dots, and it'll bring this drop down. You can duplicate a section. Say you want to recreate this and maybe change it a little bit. You can duplicate it. You can copy and paste it somewhere else on the page or even somewhere else on the site. You can take away any formatting. You can turn it into a template. There's lots to do that you can do. Navigator is handy because you can pull up the navigator and it'll show you where it is on the navigator. If you wanted to adjust the site, you could delete sections and elements and all that using the navigator as well. Another way to pull up the navigator is right here. And this just gives you like an outline. The navigator just gives you basically like an outline of your site. So, of the page that you're on. When you click on anything, a section, a column, or an element, you'll notice that this toolbar here changes. Whereas before, originally, it was specific, or it was just the general elements that you could choose from. Now, now you have, excuse me. So when you click on an element, it changes specific to that element. So now we're talking about the section here. If I click on the column, it's going to change there. So that gives you all your settings, and that's where you make your edits, right? You can adjust your layout, determine the heights of a section, the width of a section, how you want the section to be positioned on the page. You can adjust, like this one particularly is a video background here, so it's got your background. You can adjust the video and the way it plays, overlays, borders, and then advanced tab I'd probably stay away from. You really shouldn't need to mess with it. But if you have a column, it's the same way. You have backgrounds on the style, border, typography, where you can change different things about the text. The width of the column, right? This is 2-column section here. And you can determine the width of each column in this. And then elements are the same way. So like say you wanted to change text, you'd click here and then type your text in this box. You could add a link here. And this is your justification. Style, same thing. Text color, you can pick. Typography brings all sorts of font options. And then shadows, same thing with your image. This is an image here. And you've got, you can do the width, height, all of that. You can give it a title for CSS. You probably shouldn't need to mess with any of that. Same thing, I mean, but all of them, that's the way you do it, all your options. So when you want to click on an element or edit an element or see what's even possible, click on it. It's going to bring up the toolbar over here, and you can click through and kind of see what your options are. If you want to change an image, click on the image in the page. You can come over here. It's going to bring you to your media library, where you can add different images and things of that nature. When you find one you want, you click it, and then you hit Insert Image, and that'll add the image to the page. Anytime you make changes to the site, before you leave by coming over here and going to View Page or Exit Dashboard. You can preview your changes just by closing the toolbar. And then whenever you're done, let's say you like what you've done, this button, when you make changes, this button turns green. You want to click it. If you try to leave without clicking that update button, it's going to give you a warning saying that you've made changes that haven't been saved. Now let's say that you delete something, right? So you mess something up. This little guy right here is super handy, History button. You bring it up, all your changes that you've made will be listed right here, and you can click through and restore various changes that you've made to the site. All right. If you want to edit the footer, you do that by hovering over Edit with Elementor and then clicking on Footer, and that's going to bring this up and allow you to change that however you like. Same way as before, as what we were just looking at. Going back to the dashboard real quick. From here, if you want to add new plugins, this is really probably the main thing that you would want to mess around with besides updating it. If you wanted to add new plugins, you'd come here to Plugins. This lists all your plugins on the site right now. Then come up here, Add New, and you can search all the plugins that you find, for the most part, in here by searching are going to be free plugins. So you can search here. And it's going to bring up all sorts of stuff, right, for you. You click when you find a plugin you want, like for instance, we're going to add this because it's handy. You're going to want it. So Classic Editor, you're going to install it, and then you want to activate it, and that's it. That's all there is to it. That plugin's in there now. Maybe you're going to want to add pages. If you want to add a page, you come to the Pages section on the dashboard. Add New, and then you're going to give that page a name, and when you're done, you're gonna publish it, and then you can go and edit with Elementor, and it's going to bring you up to the page view that we were on earlier. I think as far as getting you started, that's really about it. And then once you play around with it a bit and try to do some edits, you can let us know if you have any questions. We do this all the time as far as customers, if they have questions or need anything from us, just reach out, email. I mean, we will be as prompt with you now as we have been working with you on the design itself. If you have questions, we'll respond immediately and get back to you just as quickly as we can to help you with anything that you site mess something up or need to change something and can't figure it out. We're here. All right. So that's really about it. When you're done, you can hover over right here where it says Howdy Admin, click Log Out, and that's going to log you out of your site. Again, thanks so much. If you have any questions whatsoever, just feel free to let us know. All right. Thanks, Jessica. Appreciate it.